Hello all you Spooky Corner fans. Today we take you to the Whaley House. According to the Travel Channel's America's Most Haunted, the Whaley House is the #1 most haunted house in the United States. Although we cannot state positively that the Whaley House is really haunted, the voluminous documentation of paranormal occurrences at the site makes a compelling case. But if there are ghosts at the Whaley House, who are they and why are they here? The Whaley House was not only a family home but also various businesses, including Thomas Whaley's own general store, a ballroom, a billiard hall, school, and polling place. Significant events such as the seizure of the court documents and records of 1871 and the suicide of Violet Whaley in 1885 profoundly affected Thomas and Ann Whaley. These events, as well as the hanging which occurred on the property before the house was constructed, have suffused the Whaley House with an air of mystery and added its reputation as something more than just California State Historic Landmark. The earliest documented ghost at the Whaley House is Yankee Jim. James, aka Santiago Robinson, was convicted of attempted grand larceny in San Diego in 1852 and hanged on a gallows off the back of a wagon on the site where the house now stands. The local newspaper reported that he kept his feet in the wagon as long as possible, but was finally pulled off. He swung back and forth like a pendulum until he strangled to death. Although Thomas Whaley had been spectator at the execution, he did not let it dissuade him from buying the property a few years later and building a home for his family there. According to the San Diego Union, soon after the couple and their children moved in, heavy footsteps were heard moving about the house. Whaley described them as sounding as though they were made by the boots of a large man. Finally, he came to the conclusion that these unexplained footfalls were made by Yankee Jim Robinson. Another source stated that Lillian Whaley, the Whaley's youngest daughter who lived in the house until 1953, had been convinced the ghost of Yankee Jim haunted the old house. A visitor to the museum in 1962 mentioned that the ghost had driven her family from their visit there more than 60 years earlier. Her mother was unnerved by the phantom walking noise and the strange way the windows unlatched and flew up. Many visitors to the house have reported encountering Thomas Whaley himself. The late June Reading, former curator of the museum, said, "We had a little girl, perhaps 5 or 6 years old, who waved to a man she said was standing in the parlor. We couldn't see him, but often children's sensitivity is greater than an adult's. However, many adults have reported seeing the apparition of Mr. Whaley, usually on the upper landing." Other visitors have described seeing or sensing the presence of a woman in the courtroom. "I see a small figure of a woman," one visitor said, "who has a swarthy complexion. She is wearing a long, full skirt reaching to the floor. The skirt appears to be a calico or gingham, a small print. She has a kind of cap on her head, dark hair and eyes, and she is wearing gold hoops in her pierced ears. She seems to stay in this room, lives here, I gather. None of the Whaleys fit this description, but the house was rented out to numerous tenants over the years. Perhaps the mysterious woman in the courtroom was one of these." The Whaley House stands silently watching over San Diego Avenue, as it has done for a century and a half. Every day, visitors come from around the world to tour the historic museum. It contains so much history within its walls that even the non-believer will enjoy the tour. For believers and skeptics alike, the house draws them back time and again in search of those elusive ghosts. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more videos.